All right, let's talk about something that's working hard for you right now, probably just a few feet under your lawn. It's this silent, powerful engine, one of the most vital systems in millions of homes, and yet most of us never even see it. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and uncover the science of septic systems. So, I've got a question for you. What is the most important system in your home that you never ever see? It's not the electrical wiring tucked away in the walls or even the plumbing you can see under the sink. Nope. It's the amazing, kind of ingenious bit of tech that deals with, well, everything that goes down the drain. We are, of course, talking about your septic system. If you're not hooked up to a city sewer line, then this is it. This is your personal on-site waste management powerhouse. Seriously, just think of it like that, a silent, hardworking engine that's constantly protecting your home and, frankly, your peace of mind.
And its job? Oh, it's absolutely critical. I mean, a septic system that's working right is the only thing standing between you and some pretty nasty stuff. We're talking disgusting backups, foul odors that can just take over your whole house, and yeah, some seriously expensive emergency repairs. It really is the unsung hero of a happy, healthy home.
Okay, so how does this whole thing actually work? How does this hidden piece of engineering get the job done? Well, it's actually a pretty brilliant mix of simple physics and good old-fashioned natural biology, and it's all happening right under your feet. The heart of the whole operation is the septic tank itself. It's basically a self-contained underground wastewater treatment system. The best way to think about it is like your own private mini treatment plant. It takes in everything your household flushes or drains and immediately starts the process of breaking it all down. And inside that tank, something pretty amazing happens, all thanks to gravity. The waste naturally separates into three distinct layers. So at the very top, you get what's called scum. That's all the lighter stuff, like grease and oil, just floating. At the very bottom, the heavier solid waste settles down and forms sludge. This is where tiny bacteria get to work breaking it down. And then, sandwiched right in the middle, is a layer of pretty clear liquid wastewater called effluent. Now this is the liquid that eventually flows out of the tank and into what's called the drain field, where the soil filters it even more. But here's the catch, and it's a big one. This whole natural process, it's not magic. The waste doesn't just vanish completely. The system needs you to do your part. It needs maintenance. And, well, ignoring it can lead to some really serious problems. See, over time, we're talking months and years, those sludge and scum layers just keep building up. They get thicker and thicker, expanding and taking up more and more room inside the tank. And that means there's less and less space for the tank to do its main job, which is separating out that wastewater. And this really leads you to a fork in the road, a tale of two tanks, if you will. On one hand, with regular maintenance, your system can run smoothly and efficiently for decades. But on the other hand, with neglect, you're looking at costly backups, awful odors, blockages, and maybe worst of all, contaminating your own drain field. That kind of failure isn't just a headache, it can be incredibly expensive to fix, and it's bad for the environment. So, how do you make sure you stay on the right side of that equation? Simple. The answer is a thorough professional cleaning. It's the one thing that can basically hit the reset button on your entire system and get it back to peak condition. And a proper cleaning isn't just some quick job. It's a really methodical 5-step process. First, the pros do an initial assessment, figuring out your tank's size, location, and its service history. Then, they'll locate and carefully open the access lids. Step 3 is a full inspection, checking the tank's condition and measuring just how thick those waste layers have gotten. Then comes the main event. A big vacuum truck sucks out all the waste, and they might even use high-pressure water to break up anything that's really compacted. Finally, they do a last inspection and give you recommendations for the future. And this is the key takeaway, the most important part of a quality service. It's not just about pumping out the liquid, it's about cleaning the entire tank. That means getting out the settled solids at the bottom and all that floating debris at the top. That's the comprehensive approach that actually gets your tank back to 100% capacity. Okay, so you're probably wondering two things right now. What does all this cost, and how often do I actually need to do it? Let's dive into the practical side of all this, the price of prevention. Well, there are a few key things that affect the final price. First up is tank size. That's the big one. A bigger tank just takes more time and a bigger truck to empty, plain and simple. Your location and how easy it is to get to the tank also matter. The condition of the tank is a factor too. If that sludge is super compacted, it's going to take more work to clean it out. And of course, if the access lids are buried underground, the extra work to dig them up will be part of the cost. So what's the magic number? How often should you be thinking about this? For an average household, the general rule of thumb is to get your tank professionally cleaned every 3 to 5 years. That really seems to be the sweet spot. It prevents any major buildup, but you're not overdoing it. Of course, if you have a really big family or it's a commercial property, you might need to do it a little more often. Which kind of brings us right back to the beginning. Now that you know everything this system does for you, how it's quietly working away under your feet day in and day out, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? Is your home's hidden engine overdue for a checkup?